Well, we blew up YouTube earlier this week when we dropped the exclusive news that Harbor Freight was coming out with the Gen 2 Icon cabinets. It was huge. It blew us all away. And I've had a ton of questions, and I've been trying to get answers, but SEMA just wrapped up today, and I finally got the answers, or at least most of the answers for you. We're going to cover it all. All right, let's go through what we already saw at the show, all right? This is all the details that we know about. We got the new one here. It's beautiful to look at. It does have a very hint of Snap-on to it. But the 30-inch depth, all the Snap-on boys and all the tool truck guys are crowing, oh, it's got to be 30-inch to be a pro box. Harbor Freight's got a 30-inch box now. All right, we got the full-length lift latch system on the drawer. Absolutely love that. We can only hope that it finds its way over to the U.S. General system. We got an all-new rail system. They've ditched the detent system that they had before. I was fine with the detent system. I had the Icon box for a while. I thought it was fine, but I do like this latch system that much more. I really do. And we got three, not quite full length. So this is a triple bank cabinet here. We got three long length drawers up top. And then of course we got the parts, the adjustable parts compartment drawer right here at the top of the middle bottom bank, if you would. Very similar to the Rousseau style that we've seen. I was really hoping this was a Rousseau box. It's not. Of course, we have the power drawer down there. You've got the charger for Hercules with the Hercules batteries in it. Everything else, there's USB charging as well. And then we got your power tool holster down below. And that could carry quite a bit of stuff. We got cordless power tools, air tools, a grinder, and more down in there. So you should be able to fit most of your power tool selection, hopefully, down in that drawer. And of course, that style of handle carries with it throughout the entire box. That's the same. We got the power up top. I really like that. We got two 120s and two USB-Cs up top. Everything's moved to USB-C at this point, so why not? And we saw it there in the slate gray, and here we are in the classic Mechanics red tool cabinet look there. Just perfect with the black trim. Of course, all the same features there. Power up top, the Icon G2 logo in the upper left. Again, 30 inches in depth. We're gonna get more information as we can, but let's talk about what I was able to get out of my contacts at Harbor Freight right now. All right, now I got most of the answers to the questions that you've been asking. So let's go through the list. All right, let me check my notes. First off, I know you're asking, what's the price? Mid threes. We're looking at $3,600 for the box that you saw at the show, okay? Now there's more information on this. We're gonna keep going about that box, but that's the price point that they're going for. Which for 30-inch, 72-inch wide box, that's, oh my gosh, it's gonna hurt some feelings. Some people are gonna be upset. Mostly people who drive tool trucks. Anyway, next one is, what colors? Well, we saw slate gray and we saw the red and both with the black trim. That's confirmed. Everything else is still on the table, all right? Now, what sizes? We saw the 72. That was a 72 there. There's going to be, and this kind of goes in the next questions, will there be hutches, side cabinets, top boxes? What will it all entail? And it's going to be a complete modular system just like they have now. So you'll have the hutch option, you'll have the side locker options, you'll have the top box options, all right? It'll be fully modular, similar to what they have currently in the Gen 1, all right? Will it be backwards compatible with the Gen 1? I think they didn't quite understand where I was going at with this. They said, no, because it's 5 inches deeper, it won't be backwards compatible. Well, that's obvious. You won't be able to take a Gen 1 box and put a Gen 2 hutch on it. But what if you already have a Gen 2 or Gen 1 setup, everything, and you're like, I can't afford to replace it all right now, but what if I just bought a Gen 2 box? Could I put my Gen 1 hutch and my Gen 1 side lockers and my Gen 1 top box on? Would that be possible? I still think it would be possible. They didn't answer that. I think they got confused. They're busy. They've had a long week. Okay, they've had a long week. So I still think it will be. I don't want to say compatible, but usable. Like I think you'll be able to put a Gen 1 hutch on a Gen 2 box. I'm hoping you can put a Gen 2 side locker. That one's going to be more iffy because there's bolts and stuff with that. But we will have to wait and see if this is going to be possible. All right. Also, what we saw with this was there was no stainless steel top on it, so we don't know what's going on with the stainless steel top, whether that's going to be a thing or how they're going to do it. Like with the the U.S. General, it's all integrated into the hutch itself, whereas on the Gen 1 Icon, you put you have the bottom box, you put the stainless steel on that, and then the hutch bolts down through that. All right, we'll have to wait and see. I'll try and get more information, okay? Now, the one you're waiting for, when? This is the bad news, folks. It's not anytime soon. We're looking 2027. I know. So, turns out that box is a prototype. And they brought it to the show specifically to show you that A, it's coming, and B, get feedback on what you guys think about it and what you want. They heard you loud and clear. 30 inches. Everyone's been complaining about it, which I think is honestly, I'm sorry, honestly, it's a joke. Not even most Snap-on cabinets are 30. Kennedy, the company that invented the toolbox cabinet, doesn't even make a 30. Most toolboxes, pro toolboxes, are not 30 inches, okay? They do have that capability, and they're at the top. And I'm sure the Snap-on guys will be like, but it's not 31. I'm sure they'll come up with some reason. They always do. They are just champions of moving the goalposts. It's hilarious. But what we're looking at here is them putting out here going, what do you like about this? What is it missing? So put it down in the comments, because they do read the comments in these videos, all right? Trust me, they do. So if you've got comments that you want Harbor Freight to see about what you would like to see happen with this toolbox, put it down below. I think the big win is the Russo, am I pronouncing it right? The Russo style lever handle on it. I love that. I've got, they make the boxes for Tecton. I had the Tecton box for a while. Absolutely loved that handle style. Now, this is not made by Russo, because they also have a similar type parts kind of category, or parts organization with the slots and stuff. They have something very similar to that. Again, it's not a Russo box. It's not made in Canada. We can always hope and dream. But I love seeing the power up front, the USB-C on it. The only thing I'm looking at this and going, you know what I would really like, and this is really wishful thinking, if you've seen Toolbox Tour's latest video, you got to go check it out. He's doing some great work over there. And the man travels around the country just touring toolboxes. And he did a tour of the Matco facility. And honestly, if you're going to spend that kind of money, Matco is where I would do it. Matco's the one that's really leading the charge. And I would love to see Harbor Freight start leading and less copying, if you know what I mean. But I mean, they're really sticking it to Snap-on. But Matco's got this thing where they've got a light it's basically right at the top, right below the top lip of the cabinet. There's a light that points downward, so when you open your drawers, they're completely lit, and it is glorious. It's just, why didn't anybody think of this? It's a beautiful solution. But that said, I'll put a link to his channel too. Go check it out, Toolbox Tours. If you're on a budget, the Icon box at $3,500 for 30-inch. I don't know what more you could ask for. I'd love to hear what you got to say though. I've soft close. That's the one. Everyone, I know, soft close. We want to see soft close. We get it. So soft close down there. Maybe some sort of drawer lighting. I'm trying to think anything else. Let me know what you come up with. Anyway, if you like what we do here, go ahead and chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.